Empires.
Calls are straight ahead.
Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Open your eyes. It's time to give your eyes a powerful nutritional boost. Sight is the primary input to the brain, arguably making eyesight the most important sense we have. And just like the other important organs in our bodies, our eyes function at peak levels when they are fed the proper amounts of essential nutrition. Open your eyes. Combining key ingredients like vitamin A, zinc, lutein, proprietary saffron bulb extracts, and more, OcuPower by InfoWars Life is a new formulation specifically designed to nutritionally assist the natural function of healthy eyes. Optimize the natural power of your eyes with the latest addition to the super high-quality InfoWars Life formulations, OcuPower. Go to InfoWarsLife.com or InfoWarsStore.com to order OcuPower or call 1-888-253-3139. OcuPower. Open your eyes.
Using unparalleled research in the development of a synergistic formulation based around the key concepts of super oxygenation, the next level in cleansing is here. With key ingredients backed by real clinical studies, the new Oxy Powder, available through InfoWars Life, was invented during Dr. Group's research on the toxification of our bodies. Many herbal colon cleansers are harsh on the body and contain cheap and potentially dangerous ingredients, oftentimes full of synthetic fillers, GMOs, additives, or worse. Gently start cleaning your body with easy capsules that start working while you sleep. Oxy Powder does not require time off work, and there's no need for bad tasting concoctions. Instead, Oxy Powder slowly releases monoatomic oxygen into the intestinal tract and body. Experience the astonishing cleansing power of superoxide and ozonide technology. Go to InfoWarsLife.com or InfoWarsStore.com to get started with Oxy Powder, or call 1-888-253-3139.
General, what do you think about the FBI saying that there's a terror alert on Monday about a potential Fort Hood situation?
The police are shoving people, shoving Alex, shoving the crowd.
Here we go, folks. I'm being assaulted.
Whether it's the radio show, the news websites, documentary films, or the nightly news, InfoWars is the tip of the spear.
Is this another false flag stage attack to take our civil liberties and put more homeland security while sticking their hands down on pants on the streets?
It's up to us to set brush fires in the minds of men and women everywhere. And that's what PrisonPlanet.tv is designed to do.
You watch, the Assad regime is going to be blamed or accused of using chemical weapons against the so-called rebels.
What we see now is a war against reality. It's a war against the truth.
It's more vital than ever that supporters of freedom become members of PrisonPlanet.tv and share their membership with up to 11 friends and family. Visit InfoWarsNews.com today. Become a member, share your membership, and help take the InfoWar to the next level.
Your riches and wisdom. So we have even right there.
What's his name?
This is an emergency transmission from FEMA Region 6 in occupied North America.
There is a war. It's happening now. It will decide the fate of humanity. The time to choose sides has come. We are the resistance. We are the InfoWar. And this is Monday, the 22nd day of September 2014. I'm your host, Alex Jones. Okay, I'm going to your phone calls now, right through the full 3 hours. We have one guest on for 30 minutes, another guest for 10 minutes. But other than that, it'll be phone calls and news. Coming up, food shortages on Sierra Leone's final day of Ebola lockdown. Handouts of rice were distributed only to some families ordered to stay in their homes. World Bank says Ebola spread may have catastrophic costs. I think it already has. Also, Saul Alinsky letters have been released between Hillary Clinton and Saul Alinsky. Look at that creepy control freak if you're watching us on TV. Hillary Clinton when she was young. They had her in Life magazine when she was a college student, telling us then how she would be our superstar boss. And, of course, new documents have been leaked showing the big telecom companies with the big video game makers literally being run by top anti-male feminists to put all their anti-family, anti-male messages out there. as women prepare to literally wed the state. All run by the Central Intelligence Agency. Gloria Steinem in the 80s wrote a book and admitted that she was given the money to start that whole organization, Miss Magazine. Has nothing to do with empowering women. It's about absolutely breaking up any type of community, and it's truly sickening. We told you this was coming. USA Today reports tax refunds will be cut for American Affordable Care Act recipients, or Obamacare. So we told you that it had all sorts of little red tape in there like that, so there you go. Like death panels, the Affordable Care Act. What a deal. But first, let's go ahead and go to your phone calls. Let's talk to Kenneth in Louisiana. Kenneth, thanks for calling today. Welcome.
Hey, Alex. I just wanted to talk to you for a minute about the climate change protesters. You know, this is kind of amazing to me that they'll get up there with the signs and they'll talk about CO carbon emissions and all this, but nobody wants to talk about geoengineering. Nobody wants to talk about the chemicals that are being sprayed in the air. And like, I'll give you an example, like C-SPAN. They'll get up there and talk about it like they do today, and nobody mentions it. It's just like, let's just keep quiet about that. Let's don't say anything about that. We'll talk about everything else, but when somebody gets on the phone and tries to say something about it, they cut them off. That's just amazing to me, and I just wanted to get your take on that.
They have to keep up appearances on C-SPAN, and all the time I've sent YouTube clips that listeners have compiled where an entire hour of phone calls will be dominated by plugs for Infowars.com, plugs for our documentaries, people talking about the New World Order. They'll have a Council on Foreign Relations or Trilateral Commission member on, and they will literally get besieged by informed listeners that will start quoting the different treasonous statements back at them until they panic and shut it down because they can't stand being challenged. The fake environmental movement is about global zoning, population control, selective enforcement of regulations to allow only certain insider groups to operate and flourish, or feudalism. And exactly, they want to tax carbon dioxide that's part of the life cycle, oxygen, carbon dioxide, sunshine, and water. Got to have those things. If they can tax one of those, we know sunshine's good, we know water's good, we know oxygen's good, so they target carbon dioxide while they ignore all the GMO, the cross-species engineering, the geoengineering of the climate, all the things that are admitted to be going on. Oh, forget that. You are just someone that wants to kill the earth because you won't turn control over to the UN and these select corporations. That's a great point, and I appreciate your call. In fact, since he mentioned it, let's go ahead and go to a clip. Climate change skeptics call out marchers' hypocrisies. And all they did was send out onto the streets PJTV to go bring up some simple questions. Look at how you came here on buses. Look at how you got garbage everywhere. Look how much you're consuming. Look at how your cell phone is getting its power from coal. And Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who we've interviewed before, by the way, literally blew up and just got flustered. It's like when I had Rothschild on, one of the main Rothschild heirs who pushes all this stuff and puts out books where polar bears can't swim for kids. We famously had him on promoting his book. And when I said, well, why are the ice caps on Mars? Because that was 8 years ago, and so there was still some solar system warming. I said, why is its ice caps getting smaller? Not just ours. Of course, it stopped right around that time, and now they've been growing. And he said, well, that's because Mars is closer to the sun than the Earth, dummy. And I said, no, it's Mercury, Venus, Earth, we're third rock, and then Mars, and then out to the gas giants. And he just said, no, it's not, and laughed at me. Now, obviously, he knew Mars was further out. But it's a religion of disdain for the public's ignorance and training you to just throw it in your face that we're going to fund ISIS to fight ISIS and then change the name to ISIL to confuse people. So that's a great point. Let's go ahead and play a clip of this video. Here it is.
Do you have an iPhone or an Android? I have a cell phone.
You do? Are you concerned about the damage that the cell phone and electricity generation causes to the environment?
Are you joking about this?
No, I want to know if you're willing to give up your iPhone.
No,
Are you willing to give? Why not? Doesn't it start with people like you? You're here saying you want.
No, it starts by changing the laws so to rationalize the marketplace so that we reward the most efficient forms of energy use and we punish the bad ones.
Shouldn't you lead by example?
No, I do lead by example.
So are you going to give up your cell phone?
No, I'm not going to give up my.
Are you going to give up your car?
Are you going to give up yours?
I'm not the one who's here talking about the environment. You're here trying to change the environment, trying to change the law. So I'm asking if you are going to lead by example.
No, I'm not going to stop using a cell phone, and I'm not going to stop using. I don't believe that we have to reduce our quality of life in order to have a rational free market, in order to stop the use of carbon, in order to divorce ourselves from.
All right, that's good.
A fuel that is destroying.
It gets even better. The video's up on Infowars.com right now. And I want to commend PJTV. It's better than their old days where they would have people stand behind me yelling, "Kill Michelle Malkin," and then blame me for it when it was on video that I didn't say it. Whatever. Hey, they want to keep our power plants on. I like them. Good job. They do a lot of really, really great work over there. Now, continuing, and then I'm going to go back to your calls on this issue. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has exposed that vaccines are clearly linked to autism. I appreciate him for that. He has spoken out and said we should investigate cell phone radiation and brain tumors that killed his uncle. I think he's actually a guy that means well. Because I've talked to him on air and off air. And I know folks that are friends with him. So I don't want to just demonize every liberal out there. He is a useful idiot. And I've been an idiot before as well. All of us are learning. It's a process, but I mean, he is a useful idiot. That's what Lenin called well-meaning people that went along with the communists. And the media demonized him for coming out and speaking out and saying we should investigate vaccines when it's overwhelming. By the end of the week, last week, I had said there were 3 mainstream news articles worldwide, or 3 different big events, hundreds of articles worldwide. There was a 4th by Sunday I didn't get to. In a 7-day period, 4 scandals on 3 continents. No, 4 continents. There were 4 scandals with vaccines killing large numbers of children that took them. HPV, polio shots, you name it, killing people in Latin America, in South America, in Central Asia, in the Middle East, in Africa. Simply mind-blowing. So I don't want to just sit here and attack people like Kennedy. He really thinks you should turn your guns in. He really thinks carbon's going to kill us all. And at least he's against a bunch of GMO stuff that's out of control. So many scientists come to me. I ran to one of them at the Casey Research event who was a biologist. And he said, Alex, why are you against GMO? And I said, well, they're putting Trojan horse stuff into it, and they're not testing it right. I've read the studies by the companies that put it out themselves. It's really dangerous to mix plant and animals together, and it's really dangerous to be, and I mean, are you denying that, take the case of BT corn, within 3 generations of feeding it to rodents, they're almost completely sterile, and it goes for the same for almost all of them? I mean, this is real, what we're talking about here. This is real. And so I don't just take issues because they're liberal or conservative, and then I decide something has validity to it because it fits into my worldview. I really try to find out what's going on. All right, I said I'd take a lot of calls, and I've taken 1 call. Let's go to Dan in Louisiana. Dan, thanks for calling.
Hi, Alex. Calling from FEMA Region 6.
Good to have you on.
Thank you. I'd just like to say that I have taken part in the Info War. I was working, I do work in oil refineries down here in Louisiana. I do an inspection. And I was working with a gentleman. I'd rather not say his name on the air. I don't know if he wants me to announce who he is, but whatever. He had the first and probably the only Ron Paul town hall in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, when Ron Paul was running for president. So he's big-time conservative, big-time libertarian. And he and I were having, a lot of discussions about how to pass on the information of the INPO war. So he gave me a good idea. He said, man, why don't you go get a business